Packing for a motorcycle trip is always full of compromises, especially when we're talking about non-essential equipment like camera gear. I've been a professional photographer for over 30 years and I've been riding motorcycles for 20. Well, join me on this tier list as I break down the equipment that I just couldn't live without and the equipment that I'll just leave at home. Welcome to Naxi Tracks. We're going to compare all sorts of travel camera gear. This is applicable for any type of trip, whether it's cycling, ATVing, kayaking, basically any situation where space and weight are an issue. I have a couple of self-imposed rules though. Number one, this tier list is only going to consist of camera gear that I've personally used and owned. Number two, it has to have been carried by me on a motorcycle. And number three, the scale is directly linked to usability. S tier, or as I like to call it, the dog's bollocks gear, is small enough to carry on a long trip like a BDR, useful enough to make great content. It's great to take along if you want to crunch the miles. It has maximum convenience and minimum stop time. On the other end of the scale is the E tier, or we could call it the don't even think about it end of the scale, is the gear that's too big, not very practical, and not worth the effort to carry. And number four, this is just for fun. This is my opinion. If your opinion is different, I won't be offended. You can leave the comments below. Maybe I've missed something. Get involved. I'm happy to hear all your thoughts. So let's get going. First up, we're going to start with cameras in all different forms. With regards to interchangeable lens mirrorless cameras, I'm going to include recommended lenses and their usefulness too. This category applies to all brands, but remember, I'll be talking about cameras and lenses that I've used, so mainly be about Sony and Canon. With that being said, let's get started with the very first camera, the Sony A1 mirrorless camera. Now, where's it going to go? The mirrorless camera system I've just used on a trip recently, and I took this very camera, and I wasn't overly excited about it. I had to keep stopping and get off the bike to use it, and I ended up not using it as much. I tried having it in my tank bag. It ended up filling up the entire tank bag, and I didn't have room for gloves and things like that, so I ended up putting it in the back, and I wasn't using it as much as I would. Now, although this is a phenomenal camera and probably the best all-around camera that you can get, I'm going to put it in the A range, mid to long-range trips. It's a fantastic camera, but if you're trying to crank out the miles, getting into the back and getting it going, getting into your tank bag or changing lenses or setup, it's a little bit more restrictive. Okay, next up we got the FX3. So this is on Sony's cinematic line of cameras. It's geared more towards movie making. It only has a 12 megapixel sensor, which makes it fantastic for low light. The stills are very small though, so if you are thinking about a stills camera, you might want to look elsewhere. And there's no viewfinder on it, so the screen can get a little challenging on bright days. But let's go for, we're going to put it A, mid to long trips. Okay, camera number three. I threw it in here for just because, but just don't, okay? This is the Sony FX6. I have traveled with it, but I've gone to do specific jobs and then come back with it. It's just too big, too unwieldy. The best camera on the list by far, but not in this use case scenario. If you're traveling, there's much better options. Okay, then we got a phone. Now, phones have gone up and up in my rankings. I think now they're probably up in the dog's bollocks. Maybe not. The quality's great. Somebody's going to light me up because there's always people defending their phone. Their phone is better than every camera on the planet. But personally, I don't think they are great. They're not the best, but I'll go A. Mid to long range trips, the most convenient, without a shadow of a doubt. And I guess if you put it in, I think we might up it to the dog's bollocks. I tell you why, because you can always have a phone on you. So even if you haven't got camera gear with you, you can always have a phone. So that puts it in that realm right there. Okay, next up we've got interchangeable lens camera, but it's on a smaller scale. It's the A6400, and These are super capable as far as videoing and stills. They're not full frame cameras, but fantastic cameras. The only downside that I've found for me is I couldn't see the screen when it was outside and it was bright. Anybody with slightly challenged vision, forget about it, because the screen is pretty small, it's very dim, and that's the only real limitation of it. Apart from that, as a compact version of a mirrorless camera, they're really good. And there are newer versions of this now that would probably be a lot better, but let's put it in the B tier just because it does have some limitations as far as usability. Okay, next up is the Sony ZV-1. Great camera, designed for vloggers, really good camera, has great audio on it. Put a dead cat on the top to stop wind noise. It has one of those front-facing screens. They were designed specifically for vloggers and content creators. I just used this the other day for a test shot, and it's a great camera, but I wonder if I would take this or a phone. I mean, the phones have got so much better now that although you've got a seamless zoom on this camera, like if somebody said, oh, I want to get a decent camera, but it's got to be better than my phone, but great for video, great for stills, but I don't want to spend a fortune, this would be the camera that I'd tell you to get, because it does a bit of everything pretty well. It was originally designed for vloggers. It has a front-facing camera. It has great audio on it. You can even stick as an attachment to put a dead cat on top, a wind muffler. But as time has gone on a little bit, these are a couple of years old, and now phones have kind of caught up. So I'm not sure where this place is for this. Maybe I think it's a good option for some people, but it's not an interchangeable lens. It's got a fixed zoom lens. I think it'd be good for mid-trips. I'm going to say put it in the B tier, I think. Okay, now we're going on to next level stuff. We have the DJI Osmo Pocket Pro 4. And I wish I had this on my last trip. This is a phenomenal camera for what it is, and it's going straight into the dog's bollocks. Ride for your life, because these cameras have come a long way. I had the first version of this, I think it was 2017, 18. We're now on version 4. This one has a zoom lens, it has the flip screen, it will shoot vertically, horizontally. It does great slow motion. Actually, I did a whole film about this very camera. You can check it out on my channel. Showed it vlogging. I did put it through the tests. I did the slow-mo and everything. I will definitely be taking this camera. It's not the only one on the market. I think Insta360 just came out with one, which is also really good. I haven't used it, so I can't speak for it, but yeah, definitely top tier. Okay, next up, we're in the 360 camera realm. Definite yes for this one. I would definitely take a 360 camera. It's going straight to the dog's bollocks. Ride for your life. You can't beat a 360 camera on a bike. It's a great way to get a safety shot, so you can set it recording. You can get everybody around you. You can get yourself, the scenery. I have the X4. The X5 is out at the moment. I would probably get the Insta360 X5 because it has interchangeable lenses. It hasn't been a problem for me, but I'm sure one day I'm going to get it scratched and you have to send it back to the factory, this particular one, to get it replaced. So the X5 is probably a better option. 8K video. Now the editing is a little bit of a learning curve and can be a bit cumbersome at times, but definitely something you should have on your bike. Another one that I've had, the Insta360 1R. This was probably the original Insta that they had 360 camera, maybe the first or second generation, and it was kind of like a pop-up. It could go into different configurations where it was just an action cam. You could put an expanded battery on it. You could put the double facing section on it, which made it a 360 cam. Really good option. They're so much better now. I think that was probably 5.6K or something, if I remember rightly. And again, the editing was a little bit cumbersome. The newer versions are much better. But if you see one for sale that's not too expensive, I'd snap it up. Now, these are, so far, the Insta360's Ace Pro 2 are the best action cameras I've used, and they're going straight into S, the dog's bollocks. They are fantastic. You see it's got a front-facing screen. The audio options are excellent. You can either go Bluetooth option, or you can get an adapter and you can plug a 3.5mm jack so you can have a mic in your helmet straight into the camera. I use one right in the front of my helmet and have one on my handlebars facing back towards me. Great cameras. You've also got, obviously, the GoPro. I've used many of these. These are all going to go into S tier, the dog's bollocks, as they are so usable, great quality. You can't go wrong. I haven't had the latest ones, but I'm sure they're fine. I think the Insta stands out just because it has that front-facing camera. Maybe GoPro does too, I'm not sure. Okay, this next one is an oldie but a goodie. This is the Sony FDR X3000. I think it came out in 2017, 2018, and it's still relevant today. It was one of the first, and it's going straight into the dog's bollocks because the simple reason, the form factor, it's long and thin, great for mounting on the side of helmets. It's 4K, and it has really good audio options. It was the first action camera that actually has a 3.5mm jack that you can plug directly into it. So the audio options on this are still better than most cameras that are out today. You can't do the Bluetooth, but you can get a direct feed. So if you want to mount it on the site, anywhere where there's a lot of wind or something like that, the form factor is really good. If you can pick one of these up cheap, I'd definitely recommend them, even though they're probably 8-9 years old already. Okay, let's talk about some lenses. If you're going to take a mirrorless system, what sort of lenses are you going to take? The biggest thing with, obviously, on bikes is, we could take all of these lenses and put them in, but we'd have no room left for anything else. So we've got to pare it down to something. Now we're doing a bit of action. So this is the 400 2.8. I think it weighs about 15 pounds. Yeah, just don't. There's no reason ever to take something like this. Even if you were taking it out just don't. It's too much. It really is too much. Okay, next up we have the 24-70 G Master. This is definitely, it's got to go. It's mid to long term trips. I mean, it's really the ultimate lens, but let's go. I'm not going any higher than A for any mirrorless stuff, just because it's not as portable as the ones on the dog's bollocks list. But if you only had one lens, that's it right there. 24-70 G Master. Chef's kiss on that one. Okay, 16 to 35 is the next one. I'd say the same thing again. Slightly less usability, but better on the wide end. So if you're getting landscapes, or if you want to film yourself, or a tight campground or something, if wide is your thing, then that's a great lens to go to. And don't be put off by the fact these are all Sony G Masters, which is their premium line. I would say the same. Every brand makes that lens, either the 24-70 or the 16 to 35. So they're all in the same category. They're going to be great lenses. Now this one, I'm going to go out of my own ranking here, because as a bang for a buck lens and an adaptable lens, I'm going to put this in actually the dog's bollocks. It's not even a G Master lens. It is the Sony Sonar TFE 55mm 1.8 ZA lens. And it is the Mac Daddy. It's small. It's not a G Master lens. The G Master equivalent is a 50mm, not a 55. It's literally double the weight. It's very slightly faster at 1.4. This is a 1.8. But it's significantly bigger, and it's significantly more heavy, literally twice the weight, and it costs $300 more. This would be the one time I would say, don't get a G Master, get this lens. It's absolutely phenomenal. And it's like the best lens I've ever had. I mean, it's so sharp. It is so good. Okay, and then from there, I said I wasn't going to put any up there, but this one deserves it. Another great option. Good for this would also be good for the 6400, any smaller camera. Another good option if you want to travel light, and it's hard to tell with these pictures on here because obviously they're not to scale, but the 28mm is another good small compact lens. It's literally only this big. It's a couple of inches. It's light as a feather. And it's a great lens. It's great for, doing talking heads if you're sitting at a campground and actually filming yourself, or if you want to get a semi-wide shot. I mean, the name of the game is that it's nice and small and compact. Pair that with the 55 and you got two great lenses right there that you could take on a small kit with you. And then what have we got here? 85 G Master. It better be worth it. I mean, it's a fantastic lens. In any other metric, it is fantastic. It's a beautiful, beautiful lens, but it's heavy and it's big and it's a one-trick pony. There's not much you can use it for. The 55 could do 95% of what that's doing, and it's a third of the weight, a third of the size. So better be worth it if you're going to take it. The 24-105, one of the few Sony lenses that has image stabilization in it. So it lives on my FX6 because the FX6 doesn't have image stabilization in it. And it's a good one and done lens. I'd put that up there. It's not a G Master, but it is a great lens. You wouldn't need both, but 24-105 or the 24-70, either or, you know, as a one and done lens. Okay, and now what we got here, the 70-200 is an absolute beast of a lens. Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. And if we're putting it in a lens category, it's up in the dog's bollocks, without a shadow of a doubt. It's a bit cumbersome to take on long trips, although it's a fantastic lens to use if you're riding towards it. It's got amazing autofocus. The newer version is definitely a lot lighter than the older version, so weight-wise it's a lot better, but it is a little bit big. So I'd probably put it in between these two, but let's say mid-trips. B tier, but in any other lifetime that would be an A tier lens, or S tier, the dog's bollock. Then the 100-400, maybe a little bit more diverse than the 70-200. The 70-200 is f2.8 all the way through. This one has a variable aperture, so it's not as good at low light, but maybe would give you more reach if you're into wildlife. So this one is up to the use case scenario. If you're into your wildlife and getting real tight shots of things far away, then this one would be a good one to bring for telephoto. All right, next up we got the Canon 100 macro. Just don't. Even if you love bugs, even if you love flowers, even if you love taking pictures of the tops of star bits, I don't know, whatever it is that you like close up, just take an extender ring or something and use it on one of the lenses. Get a 15mm extension ring and you can turn any lens into a macro. No need for a macro whatsoever. Okay, this one's a doozy. This is another one that is definitely S tier. The dog's bollocks, as we say. This is phenomenal. It's the 14mm GM. Absolutely the best wide landscape lens you could get. And it's smallish, it's lightish. Let's put it there for a second. This is it here. It's just absolutely a stunner. And now it is a bit of a one-trick pony, but it's good for doing, you could definitely do vlogging with it. It's got a stepped aperture, so you can do smooth video, f-stop changes. It's a great, great lens. I wouldn't bring this and a 16-35. I would probably bring one or the other. But if you're into your landscapes, if that's your thing, yeah, there's no better lens for that. Okay, now, this is what is considered a pancake lens. Yeah, is it a pancake lens? It's Sony's version of it. It's a 40mm. I think it's f2.5. So it's a prime, but it's not fast like the Sony 55. Or the 85, or any of the others. It's relatively slow. It's not as small as you might think. It's got limited use. No. I mean, some people like them. I would say better be worth it. I mean, there's better options. I would go for the 55. I would take the 28. I would, I don't know. It does nothing for me, that lens. And then this one is the only option that I've got for you that is non-full frame. This would be for the A6400, but it is a phenomenal lens. It's super light. It's a 10 to 18, I think. 10 to 18, yeah. F4, has image stabilization, and it's a great lens. It makes it a 15 to 27 millimeter equivalent. So like a 16 to 35, if you like, in an APS-C size sensor. So this is a great lens for anything that's not full frame. So I'll put that there. Okay, now we're moving on to drones. What about drones? We've got the DJI Mavic. Now I've lumped them all in together, 1, 2, 3. DJI Mavic 3 Pro. I just took it on a recent trip. It's a pain in the butt. You have to stop to launch it. The boot up time is really slow. The drone itself is phenomenal. It's absolutely gorgeous, like the footage that you get out of it. But you've got to be, I'd say, put it in the think carefully, because I just didn't end up using it because it's a pain in the butt. If you're trying to get a ton of miles in and you've got to stop your bike and then you've got to take a long while to boot up, it just puts you off using it. So I'm definitely going to get something that's a little bit more easy to fire up, maybe able to launch from the bike. I think DJI has got a new one out now that works with hand commands. The video is not going to be anything as good as the DJI Mavic 3 Pro. It definitely won't be, but ease of use would put it way higher than that. So I'm going to put that in the C tier. DJI Avata with goggles, and yeah, it's not my favorite form of filming when you're getting all this 3D type filming and rolling through. You know, if you're going through woods, maybe if you're doing a bike chase or something like that, then it would be good. My son loves it, but for me, I prefer more steady 2D stuff than I do that, so it wouldn't be my first choice. You can do steady pans and slow passes and things like that, but the sensor on it is not great, so the quality is not great. So I would not. Better be worth it, I would say, unless you were doing something specific with it. And then that's just the last couple that are on here were just to remind me that I think that this is the DJI Action Cam, which I don't have. Obviously, I'm sure it's as good of an option as the other ones that I've got there. And then also Insta360 is making a version of the Osmo Pocket 4 Pro, but they're making one as well. So I'm sure it's going to be every bit as good as that, but I've got no experience with it. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope you got something out of this. Let me know in the comments below if I've missed something. If you've got any suggestions, I'm all ears. I think we could do another one in the future that will be the accessories for the cameras. Anyway, thanks very much for joining me on Naxi Tracks. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks very much.